Hello everybody. I am Hara Katsiki. I am a quantum healer, and I'm here today with my lovely colleague and friend, Chrysilla Lewies. Hi, Chrysilla.
Hey, Hara. Good to see you again.
Always good to see you. Always good to discuss with you. And today we are celebrating Dolores Cannon birthday. So we decided to dedicate this show to her. So the show is going to be all about Dolores. And I would like to start by just making a brief introduction about who Dolores Cannon is, because perhaps there are people out there who don't really know her. So Dolores Cannon has been recognized as a pioneer in the field of past life regression, and a hypnotherapist who specialized in the recovery and cataloging of lost knowledge. She was fashioning the method of past life therapy as far back as the 70s. And she developed her own technique, which is the quantum healing hypnosis technique that we both practice. Me and Chrysilla are both practicing. And she was writing she wrote more than 18 books. Is that right?
She wrote definitely more than a dozen that I'm aware of. So yeah, it could be around 15, 16, maybe 18.
Yeah. Amazing books, really. And she passed away in October of 2014, and leaving us with this huge collection of books and the Quantum Healing Hypnosis Academy, where people are being trained and to learn this technique and continue her work. So yes, that's what we are also doing, me and Chrysilla as well. Yeah. So Chrysilla, how did you find Dolores?
I can still remember the day when I met Dolores. I was still oblivious to anything about Dolores Cannon, and I can remember someone posting in a Facebook group about Dolores coming to the UK. And immediately when they said that, everyone sort of knew who she was, and they talked about her in a way that was just fascinating and out of this world. So one of the comments was about the center of the earth, and that comment just grabbed me and it just pulled me in. And immediately when I saw that, I went to YouTube and I found the video where she actually talks about the center of the earth, and watched that, and I immediately thought that I really need to attend her in-person event here in the UK. So that's what I done, and everything's history. So I met her for the first time. It was amazing the way she spoke and told stories. She was a storyteller. And after that event, because I have a manifestation journal, and it's like everything that I'm thankful for and everything I'd like to manifest is in here. And I immediately put in there that I wanted to become a quantum healing hypnosis practitioner. And I did that. And as soon as I was able, I took the course. So it was really nice. And I was privileged enough to have met her a couple of times, which is something that I will always remember. But, Dolores being so popular in nature, at these live events, there was always so many people around her. And I was just trying to be modest and giving her space. So I never actually went up and said, "Can I have a picture?" And till today, it's probably something that I regret. So it would have been really nice to have had that picture with her.
But it's so awesome that you met her in person. Unfortunately, I didn't have that chance. I discovered her around 2012, and that was through a related video that popped up on my YouTube feed. I was watching something, I don't know, that was the end of times about the Mayan calendar and all these things. And so there was like a a small window with the Dolores Cannon picture, and there was a title underneath that was didn't really fit with the picture of Dolores, so it was like a very conservative kind of grandma, a sweet woman, and I don't remember, the title was something about extraterrestrials, and I thought, what is that? Yeah, I really have to check that one. So that's what I did, and yeah, I mean, I must say I was hooked up immediately. I don't know, it must have took like minutes or something that I was already like, oh my God, everything resonated so deeply. I trusted her instantly. I could feel how much grounded she was, and confident, and warm and loving, and knowledgeable and wise, and all these things. And so yeah,
So you were drawn to the ET side of her work?
yes. I
And
was,
yeah.
that was the time I was discovering my galactic heritage and my extraterrestrial ancestral origin, and my stars in nature, and all these things. So I was very interested in the subject. Yeah.
Mm. And I feel we're drawn to these subjects for a reason. So, like, for example, I was drawn to the Middle Earth, and I don't know, is that Agatha? Is that Agatha, the Middle Earth?
Some people call it Agatha, yes.
Yeah. And it must be because we've had lives there, and we must have had a connection from there, because otherwise why would we be connected to such things?
Yeah, I think so. If you were drawn to it, there's a very big possibility that you have had some life there, or that you have visited, or some kind of connection, for sure. Yeah, there's no coincidence.
Yeah. So Dolores wrote a book, 5 Lives Remembered. Have you read it?
Honestly, I don't remember, because there are so many books.
I know.
So I don't remember that one. Yeah.
It's one of my favorites, and it talks about how she started. So if you want to know about Dolores' story, that's probably the first book you need to read. And it tells about how she started just holding a microphone, and her husband was actually the hypnotherapist, and she was just kind of the assistant. And one day they regressed this lady that came in that had a weight problem, and she wanted to be hypnotized to lose weight. And this was Dolores's first session of experiencing past life regression, because this lady just spontaneously went into a past life, and she spontaneously just started to speak in all these accents. But I think all of them were around in America, and it's just the different dialects that she started to speak. And it doesn't matter how much they experimented, they would take this lady to a certain date, and she would be that life, she would have this accent, and she would be experiencing specific things. And then they will move her even more back or forward, depending on what time they were exploring. And they were so curious that they did this a couple of times just to find out if they're going to get the same results. So I can just imagine how it must have been back in the day, because this was like non-existent. If I would have been Dolores, the only reference I probably would have had would be Edgar Cayce, possibly.
Yeah, I guess it was quite challenging at that time. I've read somewhere that she was saying that she didn't even know how to call it, or what to think of it, or what to do with it. And I think she probably shared it a little bit. And if I remember correctly, she was saying that people were even accusing her that she works with the devil and things like this. So I guess it must have been really powerful to to be able to do something like this so early, yeah, at that time. I would like to read a foreword, from one of her latest books, because I think it's really beautiful, and it's from Convoluted Universe 5. The whole series is amazing, and in the last book there's a foreword, and she says, "For those who are just now joining us, welcome to the adventure and the journey. For those who have been part of the entire journey, welcome back, and I hope you find more interesting concepts as we continue the adventure. So read with an open mind and be prepared to have your minds bent some more. After all, pretzels are an interesting shape. They really resemble the symbol for infinity, don't they?" Yeah.
And what is Dolores's favorite quote?
I think she had a few that she's famous for. My favorite from her is believe, achieve, doubt, you're out.
Yes.
This really made it for me. But there's also another one she's very famous for, which is we have all the answers. We just need to allow ourselves the right questions.
That's true. But it reminded me of one quote that she uses all the time with the pretzel, that your mind will be bent like a pretzel.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what happens, because these sessions can be so out of this world.
Yes, totally. I love her style, her everything, because she was so grounded. I mean, she had to deal. She was such a pioneer. She had to deal with. She was so busy. She had to deal with so many incredible concepts and really advanced concepts and all these things, and she remained very, very grounded, and I really love that.
Yeah, she was very well traveled, and she started out just like us. And at the beginning, everything was foreign, and she had to learn along the way and experiment. But she did a really good job at it, and she definitely taught us a lot. But I feel even Dolores herself, even though our minds are bent like a pretzel, she didn't allow certain energies to come in. Like, she didn't believe in entities and attachments. And even though there are a lot of people that do believe in them, she just didn't pay them any attention, so therefore they didn't show up within her sessions. But I know that there is something you'd like to share?
Sure, yes, I would like to share something from her, because and before I share that, I would like to make a little parenthesis, because I remembered something that I didn't share before because of what you were saying. So how I started doing this work, like I said, I discovered her. I was hooked up. I started reading all her books, and I was literally obsessed. I mean, I was with a book in my hands everywhere, in the bus, in the train, in the toilet, in the beach, like really reading like crazy. And then in October 2014, she just passed away, and it was very sudden, everything, and nobody would really expect it. And this really devastated me, and I don't know, I was crying like if my own grandma had died. Really, I was mourning so much. And so I heard a voice in my head, and she said, Hara, please don't cry. Continue my work. And wow, I mean, this was really like, what? I hadn't thought until then that I would do this work, you know. That's how it started for me. And so I resonated a lot with her, and this concept that you mentioned, yes, the entity attachments, I was also not resonating with it, and so I am and I was very connected to her, and I really wanted her view on that. So after she passed away, I asked permission to connect with her from the other side and ask her what is her perspective on that, because she never really talked about it publicly. So she, this is the message that I'm going to read that she gave to me. Entity attachments is a polarized human mind construct, which is thus then of a third dimensional perspective. And because it is a concept that is rooted in a 3D reality, it contains duality. This duality, or concept of separation, contains fear and generates and creates danger and external enemies which you then need protection from. Protection is not a state of empowerment. It's a state of contained powerlessness or victimization. Entity attachments is a concept that victimizes oneself. It's an outdated, old way concept, coming from a polarity and fear-based consciousness. Outside this illusion, this matrix that we live in, there is no external enemy. There is only one, you. Any perceived division is an illusion. So an entity attachment is identified as such due to the fact that the individual might carry fear-based energy, which is a product of fear-based thoughts, beliefs, or emotions, which result in a lower vibration. So then similar energies or vibrations get attracted because of the vibrational match or the law of attraction. So there really is no external negative entity that attacks. It is the person's already low vibration that generates and creates such an experience. Therefore, this concept is the result of the law of attraction, which is the law of mirroring. So in other words, this theory of entity attachments could also be called as spirit frequency match. And she continues by giving a definition of what is an attachment: a connection, a relation, a similarity. And in this case, so the so-called negative experiences, you refer to them as entity attachments. There is no external force that penetrates you in order to harm you. They represent experiences that haven't been understood yet by the individual and therefore have been unresolved, perceived as negative, and personified. And the best part, which I really love, and is she says, in order to release one from such an experience, it's thus then more appropriate to work with the unresolved emotional issues that created this experience and belief. And once these issues are resolved, cleared up, and elevated, and the lessons are learned, then the frequency of the individual raises. Light is shed. And that's when no negative entity or darkness or any form can no longer reside. So in other words, because they are attracted and attached by this frequency match, when someone raises their vibration above fear, above fear-based concepts, the so-called entity attachments can no longer resonate and are repelled. Also, even if you would only just remove them, what many people have been doing and are still doing, different labels, exorcism, shamanism, and many other things. If one would only just remove them without working on the issues that created this experience, so if the person still has fear and fear-based concepts, he or she will probably attract and match with them again. And this is a more holistic approach where you find and treat the root of the imbalance and not the symptom. And this goes hand in hand with the concept of quantum healing and QHHT. And so there's a last, a message at the end, and she says, it's time we stop disempower ourselves and realize that you have the free will, and as a creator, your thought creates your reality. No one manipulates the reality you live in but you, except if you're buying into a belief system that they are.
Wonderful. So there's so much in that. Where to begin? Law of attraction, yes. Is it lower aspects of yourself? Yeah, I believe they are. Maybe aspects of ourselves that we need to work on and see that's coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. So you also don't encounter this concept in your work, right?
Not within sessions, but I've had clients who believe that they have entity attachments and that they are adamant and persistent that they have these attachments. And to be honest, sometimes from my point of view as a practitioner, I don't really know what advice to give to clients like that, apart from just handing over to the higher selves and to their unconscious mind to try and help them understand these aspects of themselves. Yeah, because I don't believe in them. I believe in raising my energy. I believe in always working with the highest vibration of all. So I haven't really had the reason or an opportunity to really work on those aspects. But no, I think it's 100% true. If you believe in them, you are opening the doors for them to be within your reality. And if they are there, what do you need to work on within yourself, or what are they trying to allow you to see, or what are they trying to bring to the surface? Yeah. What do you need to remove? So as you said, lots of people get entity attachments removed. But you know, it's like you said about frequency and vibration. So if you put a higher vibrational energy into the environment of a lower vibrational energy, it's as if the higher vibration is going to empower the lower, or the lower vibration is going to have to bring up the lower energy to match it. So either it's going to have to be removed or it's going to have to match, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I believe that light is active and dark is passive. Another example we could give is that a metaphor, which is when you are in a dark room and you turn on a candle.
The light. Oh, okay.
The darkness is just diminishing instantly.
It's just the shadow.
Yeah.
But something about Dolores that I didn't know is that she used to go to ashrams and talk at ashrams as well. So even places and sacred sanctuaries like that was open-minded enough to have her come and talk and about what she does. Yeah, she does surprise me, and it's wonderful.
Ashrams, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So it's been said from many of us who are continuing her work as practitioners that she is with us. What do you think about that? That she's still with us?
I think she's with us all the time. And what makes it even more special is when a client comes who knows about her work and they say, I would like to connect with Dolores and give Dolores that opportunity to come through. That's even extra special. And when she does come through, she always brings forth this congratulations and keep up the good work. And she just loves watching us doing the work that we do. And it's as if we are just working and shining our lights with the ascension process that we're in. And we're doing it from the inside out. And it's amazing. I think she's within our sessions, and she proves that within the asking. So if you ask, she is always there to leave a sign. She loves leaving signs. And always just tune into your intuition as well, because she's there. And if you just take time to listen, she would guide you through the session as well.
Absolutely, and she has done this with me several times. Recently, also a week ago, I had a very challenging session. The client had so many issues, and it was a woman, and a lot of trauma. So it was already I was already getting overwhelmed before we even start the hypnosis, and we start the hypnosis, and she was all over the place, from one life to the other. Then she would jump from one life to the last day of her life, dying in a new life. So it was like, I was a little bit like, whoa, my God, like overwhelmed a bit. So I had asked Dolores. I said, Dolores, can you please please give me a hand here, please? And she's like, yeah, sure. And so I had her on the right side of my head, literally telling me the next question with so much confidence. I mean, exactly like how we see her and in her videos and everything. It was the same voice, the same confidence, saying to me, "No, go back, go to see what happened before, or now ask this." And it was just so much confidence. I was trusting it. I was asking the questions, and yeah, I mean, the session ended up being awesome. Like really amazing, and getting all the answers and the healing and everything. So yeah, and she's there with all of us who are doing this work, and not only with the ones who are practicing her method, but everyone in the world who needs advice or assistance or anything.
So when that happens, the client's jumping around, that's kind of what she calls leapfrogging. So frogging.
Yeah.
Jumping from one scene to another. Yeah.
One of my favorite labels she was using for a conscious mind was calling it Mr. Stupid. Yeah, I mean, some people don't like it, I understand, but it kind of made sense because...
Well, it makes complete sense, actually, Hara, because our conscious mind can be a Mr. Stupid sometimes. If you think about our brains, they are programmed in a way to make things easier for us. So if we do things a couple of times, you get up in the morning, you're in your routine, you don't even have to think about it. You brush your teeth, you do your hair. And did you remember this morning how you brushed your teeth? How many times did you go left? How many times did you go right? And, your brain starts to just do things for you. And all of a sudden you find yourself stuck in a rut and you don't know how you got there. And that's why you come for a quantum healing session. Like, peel back all these layers and get your conscious mind out the way that has programmed you to believe certain things, do certain things, and let's reprogram the brain and, find the core of who we really are. So yes,
yeah.
And you think the brain is so intelligent, but in a sense it is, but it isn't.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the conscious mind is, I think it takes about 14% of the totality of the mind, and the rest, 86 approximately now. I'm not sure about the numbers exactly. Is the subconscious mind, and then the gateway to the superconscious mind, and what we call the higher self, and all this
Yeah,
energy.
the analogy of the tip of the iceberg, right? That's all there is. The tip of the iceberg, and the rest is unconscious. The unconscious mind is so active. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have to say, Dolores has been keeping me quite busy. I think she really wants to get things done, and if she sees somebody who is excited and available, I guess you are one of them. She will make sure to keep you busy. So I have a very short story to share. It was a year ago that a fellow practitioner contacted me through email, and she said, guess what, you won't believe it, but Dolores Cannon contacted me from the other side, and she said that we have to meet. I mean, I'm open-minded. I said, yeah, sure. let's talk, let's chat, let's get to know each other. So we did, and we are now have launched a new project. It's called Starseed Transmissions, and what we do is like, in a way, it's like mini sessions where I'm doing the reporter, the questioning, the facilitating somehow the session, and she is bringing through, connecting with different levels of different races, different extraterrestrial races, and bringing through information. And so yes, I'm pretty sure that this is a project sponsored and orchestrated by Dolores.
Yeah. Well, funny you say that you started a new project. It seems like we have been feeling so motivated to do things lately. And I, being more a nature spirit, not that I'm saying you're not, because you have that ET connection more. For some reason, I get the elementals, and I was recently drawn to do the trees, consciousness of trees, and exploring trees. And what a strange subject, but fascinating within itself. So yes, I have been taking on subjects with regards to that, and doing sessions. Maybe going into exploring water. I'd love to do that, possibly with Dr. Emoto. That would be amazing. But yeah, just nature, connecting with nature, and how we are so in tuned and connected. When we ground, it's almost as if our energy goes down like roots, exactly as trees are. So yes, we're definitely all being drawn into different directions to bring enlightenment and healing to the earth, understanding the world that we live in.
I love this new project of yours with the trees, and I want to ask you if you could share with us if there is like a short message from the trees that you want to share.
Yes, there is a short message from the trees. Um, oh, I actually have it on a recorder, but I don't know if I should get it out now. The message from the trees are: please plant more trees. Plant them at the edges of forests, and plant us close together because we like being in groups. Message from trees is: please send us healing. I feel like we don't get out in nature anymore. And when we did, they were able to mix and work with our energy. And we would naturally balance out our energies, and we would naturally heal each other, because trees and nature ground us and bring us back to the earth energy. So because we don't do that anymore, they are actually calling us to say, please send healing to the earth and send healing to the trees, because they need it at this time.
I love it. Thank you so much. Beautiful.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So yes, I have been thinking about how to start this project, and where to plant trees. But I have been seeing a lot of trees being planted lately as well, it's wonderful.
Are your clients connecting to Dolores sometimes? Have you had that happen?
Yes, most definitely. No, Dolores is definitely there, and they're definitely connecting with her. Especially, like I said, like you and I, those clients that feel that connection with her, that are currently going through her material and is like a sponge with a book under the arm, and it goes with you everywhere you go. So, yeah, those clients are definitely connected to her, and she comes through in those sessions when she has the opportunity to do so.
Yeah. Yeah, many practitioners say that. And have you had clients who said that Dolores sent them to you? Because I have had that happen.
Obviously, yeah. Obviously, you've just had that. Well, in a roundabout way, I would say yes. Because, like today, I've had a client that messaged me who went to the Dolores Cannon website. And she just said, I went browsing for practitioners and you came up. So I think it's nice when that happens. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's always the perfect match, right?
Yeah. But I know that if you're not if you're a practitioner, if you're a client who would like to have a quantum healing session done, yes, it's great to have in-person sessions if you'd like to, but we do Beyond Quantum Healing, which is so similar to QHHD. It's like an expanded version. It's really open, and we can do sessions online if that is something that you prefer, or if you're drawn to a practitioner and they offer BQH, know that it's a technique that can be done online. Very, very similar to Dolores. And actually the technique was created with all the experience that Dolores provided to Candace Crowe-Goldman, who created this technique. So Candace worked alongside Dolores for many years. And we are celebrating World Regression Week this week and celebrating Dolores' birthday because of Candace. So, BQH, definitely, if you feel like you want to connect to Hara, you want to connect to me, but a in-person session is impossible. We do it online, and it's so safe. It is a great way to connect.
And I'm sure if Dolores was alive, I have talked with her about that as well. I've talked with her now that she's on the other side. I've asked her about that, and what she said is that it's okay, go for it. Times are changing. When she was doing the work, and the internet had she started, there was no internet, and still in her late years, she was very reluctant and very resistant with technology. It was not that developed. The internet connection was not that good. She couldn't trust it, and I totally understand. She definitely didn't want to make mistakes or do things in a wrong way also. But since then, things have changed so much. Things have developed. The internet is a great way to connect and to share from all over the world, and it has become such a blessing.
Yeah. Do you think it's okay that I have said that BQH is an expanded version of QHHT? Would you say that defines it correctly?
If it defines it? Yeah, that's a very good question. Many people ask me as well, what is the difference between QHHT and BQH? And yes, I agree with you. I think it's an expanded version of QHHT, and it's a little bit more loose, a little bit more open-minded in the way that first, yes, you can also, you don't you don't need to do it in person necessarily. You can very nicely, safely, and powerfully do it online. And also you can incorporate individual skills. You can be a little bit more loose if you want to bring in your own other skills and gifts and methods and techniques you want to use, or combined with your intuition. And I believe that Dolores, she would always, she would if she was still alive, QHST would not be what it was when she left. She would have grown, she would have developed. I mean, that's what she was doing all the time. She just she left it where she left it. And then we can has been saying that take it and expand it. It's yours now. Take it in your hands and take it wherever you need to go. Trust yourselves. And we are growing, we are expanding. The needs of the people are changing. So please make it your own and serve the people in the way that you think it's appropriate. So, and then again, is the empowerment that this method is what is all about.
So tell me, I know that when Dolores did her sessions, some of her sessions went up to 3 hours. And what is the longest that you've had a client under hypnosis?
For 4 hours minimum.
And how did the client cope with 4 hours under hypnosis? Did you have a break?
No breaks, no. I think it's okay. It's just, I mean, of course, you are a little bit more tired, but it's fine. It's just like a very deep relaxation, and yeah, it was fine. I think, yeah. And usually I keep them about 2, but sometimes even 3 hours.
Yeah, I think 3 hours would be okay. Yeah, 4 hours. I'm impressed.
Yeah, that was with a colleague of us and another practitioner.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's okay because they're experienced enough to say, I can continue or I can't. Yeah.
This is something I personally address to my clients. Always from the beginning, I tell them to make sure that they have everything they need in all levels. And in the physical level, if they are warm or cold or have any kind of pain, they should communicate with me. If they cannot anymore, we can always address also the higher self and ask if there's still more questions, can we stay a bit more, is it okay for them, or calibrate the energy if they can stay a little bit longer. Or I even had, and it can happen the other way around as well, like that they want to stop earlier. I had a session with a woman that she lost her, she was very emotionally charged because she had just lost her brother, and that's why she wanted to have the session. And she was so overwhelmed and overcharged with emotions. And she, after the past life regression, the first part, which was pretty short, I don't know, 40 minutes, 30 minutes or so, we jumped into the higher self, and the brother came through, and she couldn't handle it. It was too much for her, so she had to open her eyes because she couldn't she was too close to it. She was still so emotional.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you just need space for healing to take place. Instead of just jumping in and trying to get rid of it, you're experiencing something, so move through the experience and then try and move into healing.
Yeah,
maybe even moving through the experience would be healing itself.
Yeah, absolutely, I totally agree. Yeah, and yeah, certainly. I mean, for everything, I guess, if we are too close to something, we don't see it clearly. We have to remove ourselves, and the distance always helps to see the bigger picture. And then the emotions also are can be so strong that it can really make it hard sometimes.
Yeah. Have you experienced Dolores's future life regressions?
What do you mean?
So she has a technique that she takes people into the future, either 100, 200, or 300 years in the future. And I spoke to a client of hers yesterday, and this gentleman had a session with her. And he was in this past life, and he was experiencing an important role that he was playing. And all of a sudden, Dolores just took him 100 years into the future and said, well, tell us, what are you doing now? and I was quite surprised by that, because, even just listening to other people's sessions and stories and how Dolores did things is quite fascinating to think, maybe I can incorporate that within my own sessions. So it is wonderful to hear. So yes, so future life regression is something Dolores did in workshops. So I was
yes.
kind of wondering if you ever had a past life regression workshop yourself, and have you ever done the future life regression?
Yes, I have done this. I proposed it to somebody who wanted a session recently, and I have published this session on my YouTube channel. I can put the link below because it was very interesting. So she went. I don't know how many years that would be, but she was in the new Earth, so to say. She was she had reincarnated back on Earth, and which she found amusing because she thought she wouldn't come back, but there she was back here. But from what she was describing, the new Earth is first of all is much less populated, much less people, more beauty, more nature, more colors, more animals, and much more high vibration. I think we are way too much at the moment. It feels a little bit too busy. So yeah, and see, I don't remember much from the session, but yeah, it's a very interesting technique. I'm actually considering of doing more and more of those as I have, because the other aspect of that is that I believe that this future part of us is the future self is for me is not far from what we call the higher self, because it's a version of us who is vibrating higher, who has advanced, developed, and can definitely shed light on on the timeline that we are focusing now. So this is something I have been thinking of doing it actually more, doing this kind of sessions more. And I'm also receiving as a confirmation messages from people's higher selves during sessions that many of them they need to let go of the past. We are many of us, of course, it's not for this message is not for everybody. We are all unique and different, but many people we can look ahead, so to say, make this step forward. Now it's time to make this step forward.
Yeah, I find as well the messages that are coming out is forgiveness, not only yourself for everything that's happened, but forgiving others. But I think forgiving yourself is just as important. And if you would like a forgiveness prayer, go check out Ho'oponopono. I love Ho'oponopono. And it's kind of like forgiveness, yeah, and loving and thanking for the experience. Yeah. But talking about projecting and the future, and talking about future lives, can you just imagine, just project yourself into the future, imagine a world with peace and love, and it's just almost unimaginable. Like, how would a life like that be? It's just, with everything that's going on in the world, it's really hard to perceive, don't you think?
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I think it's not possible, but sometimes I feel I am there. So I think I'm with one step, one foot in the new earth and one foot on the old earth, if we want to call that. So I think we are doing our baby steps now, and we are like learning how to
transition.
Yes, thank you.
I think we can see it already. We can see it in the rainbows. We can see it manifesting within our reality more and more. And I feel like you can see it within the colors just becoming brighter and more vivid. And you can feel it within your energy field, the way you are now remembering dreams. You are just more connected, and you're feeling more as well. So it's definitely happening in small steps, and I can feel us definitely connecting more with the Galactic Federation and our star families when moving into this new place, into the new Earth, and when we make that shift.
Yeah.
One of my favorite books, I would say, yes, I love the 5 Lives Remembered from Dolores Cannon, because it kind of tells the story. But the first book I ever read of Dolores Cannon was The 3 Waves of Volunteers in the New Earth. And that was just like a page turner. And I learned so much from that book. And she talks about the New Earth. And if you feel like this place is foreign or you don't belong here, the energies are too heavy, you just can't cope and you're struggling, read that book, because it explains how you have chosen to incarnate at this time. Yeah.
Yes, that's one of my favorite books too.
What did you love about it?
Everything. Everything. I resonated with every word, every single word. I think I was. It was. Timely orchestrated, perfectly, divinely, perfectly orchestrated for me to read this book at that time, and I think I was just the revelations I had, and the remembering, and that I experienced through reading the book was incredible, and I think I cried a lot reading it and remembering who we are, who I am, why I'm here, and Dolores used to say we are living in the most exciting times of
our lives,
or something of the history of the planet. I think some of the history of the planet, and I couldn't agree with her more. And it's getting more and more exciting. It's incredible.
Yeah. So
yes,
I think exciting times, and we can see that with the Schumann resonance at the moment, how it is just increasing and increasing and getting higher and higher, and it's almost as if it's a heartbeat telling us, we're ready to jump. That jump's coming soon, get ready. And one of the messages that came out recently was, there is no time to prepare anymore. We're in it. It's going to be happening really soon.
Yeah, we're in it. Like you said, we're in it. Yeah, we are definitely in it, and we are swimming, and we better go with the flow, and with the not against the waves, but go with the waves, and that's the only way to strive and to thrive. I wanted to say.
Yeah, to thrive, definitely. Yeah. So what message would you have for the people who would like to move to the New Earth?
Okay, what message do I have for the people who want to move to the New Earth? to, first of all, have fun. Don't take life too seriously. I think this is, for me, one of the number one, if we want to have rules, rule number one, have fun. Please have fun. Enjoy life. Enjoy life. Don't be so strict with yourself. Loosen up. Smile. Love yourself. I know it's such a cliche, but it just doesn't get more simple than that. Love yourself. Make peace with yourself, right? Because, I mean, we want to make things better, and we try to correct things outside and to readjust things, and I don't know, and we are kind with everybody, and we forget to be kind with ourselves. We are kind with everybody else, and with ourselves we are like strict. And I think letting go of all this conservatism, and allow ourselves to be playful, and be like little children. And this is when we get out of the mind, which is what is usually causing all this seriousness and struggle. And so jump into our heart, and from there we can then live a beautiful life, and have peace, and yeah,
that's wonderful. That's really good. Be playful. I love that. Yeah, I love that. Be playful. I feel it's important to be playful, because in your playfulness you will be creating, right? For me, I just had something come to me that I would like to share. Okay. Throughout my life, I have always freely spoken my mind. And through all my life, I've been kind of chastised, if that's the right word, for saying things which has been inappropriate, which people feel they are inappropriate. You can't say things like that, right? And that's kind of what made me think about why people say things like that. What did I do and say that has offended people, right? Because in the way that I've been brought up, I've always just been so direct. So some people resonate with me more than others, and other people think that I'm possibly too frank. But once you get to know me, I guess you warm up to me. But because of that, I kind of really withdrew into my shell. And it really took me a long time to try and understand what's going on within myself, right? And hopefully within my story, hopefully some of you will be able to resonate with this. And I'm coming to the end. So I kind of withdrew into myself thinking, I need to change. I need to be doing something differently. And the more I kept trying to do that, the more I kept like, how can I do that? How can I change that would please other people? So it came to light recently that I am so direct and I speak my thoughts because I am so used to, before this life, to speak telepathically that nothing would ever be a secret, right? You would just think something and everyone would know about it. So without any conscious effort, I would just speak my mind, right? Like, why be offended about it if what I'm saying is true? Yes, I'm aware of kindness. I'm aware of being sympathetic in nature and being empathic, to always take in consideration how other people are feeling, and that everyone's on their own journey. Everyone, just put yourself in their shoes. What are they experiencing? What are they going through? But do you understand? Have you had similar experiences and feelings? I'm sure that many people have had that you've just been shunted back into a corner or a shell to say, don't do that. And it's like you just put up this barrier and you lose yourself.
Yeah. Yes, first of all, I want to say stay like this because you are adorable, and
Ah, thank you.
and yes, I can share this the same
Similarities.
similarity. Yeah, as a child, I think I was very spontaneous and authentic and honest, and I paid for it. I think a lot in my family, in my school. Then I realized I have to be a little bit more quiet and have to not say exactly what I think because not everybody appreciates. But I think I made the full journey now back to the beginning where I'm allowing myself to be more and more and more authentic, and there's nothing more beautiful and there's nothing more accelerating, how you say, when you're like just being released from something and feeling free again. Accelerating.
Accelerating? No, I would
No, it's
think
something else.
you are more open to express yourself more freely without fear of judgment.
Yeah, something like this. But yeah, and I have to say that for me, there's no better way of living. It just I feel so free just to.
Yeah.
I don't need to hide anything from myself, from others. It's just an incredible way of being, and it's the and in this way you also embody more of your higher self as the true self, just being true to your nature and honor who you are, honor what because we judge ourselves, we judge this is good, this is bad, and this is the mind, and we suffer. But no, I mean, we are unique divine expressions of the unique expressions of the divine. There is no judgment, and we just have to be who we are, and that's it. That's it. And I just wanted to add on what I was saying before, but you asked me to what I was saying about being joy and all this, because you asked me how to get to the new earth. So all that I was saying about being happy and joyous is because this is what it's going to catapult you into the new earth, because you will instantly vibrate higher. The more you allow yourself to have fun and enjoy and follow your excitement and all these things, you vibrate higher, and you automatically get attracted. You manifest yourself into, you move density, and you become a fifth dimensional being. You move into that, which is, many people think that we will all one day take our luggage and move to the new earth, physically. Oh, where's the new earth? Exactly. Let's go there.
The plane's taking us.
Yeah, the bus. Oh my God, we have to, miss the bus, right?
Don't miss the bus.
Yeah.
It makes me laugh. I'm always running for trains. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love what you're saying about being authentic, being playful, and just being yourself, because why do what you don't want to do? If you don't do what you love doing, and if you want to do what you love doing and you're not because of the fear of what other people think, then you're never going to be happy. You're going to
Yeah.
find happiness by just doing it. Everyone has this fear, and all of us have this inner child that's scared to step out of the comfort zone. You don't get natural born speakers. Everyone are, you step into that power and you learn how to speak and to become the person you are. So you're not going to know who you are if you don't try and you put yourself out there.
Wonderful. So I think that's all the time we have for today. What do you think?
Yes, I think we covered a lot, and I'm sure that this is going to be a wonderful week of celebrations with Dolores Cannon, and hopefully we are all doing a good job. I know that she loves watching over all of us and connects whenever she can. And I know that she's working really hard on the other side with the A-Team, with Albert Einstein and Emoto, and they're definitely working on that side to get us to work more as well, to get the information out. So yeah, thank you very much for taking the time today, Hara.
I would like to say goodbye to our viewers with the message from Dolores, and she gave to me a little bit after she passed away, and she said she was talking about as long as we come from the heart, and there is no judgment, and there's only joy and excitement. And she said, I planted the seeds, you are the seeds, and it's so dear to me to watch you blossom. I'm with you in spirit in every step you take, and you can always call upon me if you need guidance. And I would like to say to you now, from the other side of the veil, to believe. And was bold. Believe the impossible is possible when you believe.
I think we need to end that with believe in magic. She just like, believe in magic. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Dolores, and thanks everybody for watching.
Goodbye, and thank you for tuning in.
We went into the past life regression. I've been doing that all along. Then it just developed into this other method. It's been a gradual thing, but it happened after all these other incidents happened. Because I'm the reporter, the investigator, the researcher of lost knowledge. So if I can find something that nobody knows or has been lost or buried and forgotten, that's my job, is to bring it back. The 3 waves of volunteers, who are the people that have volunteered to come into the earth at this time to help save the earth from their energy. Their energy is pure, so they're bringing in a special kind of energy that will help change the world, and that's why they're here. We are making a difference. Things are changing, and I have great hope for the world, because I see what's happening everywhere. It's a very important time to be alive right now.
Up in the mountains, away from it all, lives a lady who helps young and old. She don't wear a costume or fly on a stick. She drinks milkshakes and sees pyramids of love, 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 and light, 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 light. Dolores, you've made such good explorers. We love what you do. We feel that it's true. Love and light to you. Oh, Dolores. Bird, bird, see the red bird. Bird, bird, see the red bird. When we found Dolores, it was meant to be the best damn adventure in Dimension 3, soon to expand above and beyond, as Dolores waves her magic wand of love, 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 and light, 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 light. Dolores, you've made such great explorers. We love what you do. We feel it's true. Joy, love, and light to you. Dolores, you've made such great explorers. We love what you do. We feel it's true. Feel it's love and light to you. Oh, Dolores.
We are making a difference. Things are changing. And I have great hope for the world because I see what's happening everywhere. And it's a very important time to be alive right now. Right now.